We are buying popular books from BookTok and filling free little libraries today because I find that whenever I'm not like feeling in the best mood, if I do something kind for someone else, it always just like makes my day a little bit brighter. So make sure you're subscribed because there's new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hello friends, I don't know if you can hear me very well out here because it's like windy and there's like cars driving by and stuff, but I'm getting ready to go into a bookstore. I can feel myself like getting into a book slump, and it's literally because life has been so crazy and I feel like I can't like focus on one thing for very long, which hasn't really ever been a problem because reading has always been like a solace for me, and it's still there go the cars, it still is, but I'm finding it hard to like actually relax or just like find enjoyment in things. So we are gonna go into the Literary, which is a bookstore that is a small like independent bookstore. Go get some bookstores to put into little like book libraries, free book libraries, and then maybe pick up something for myself. I just feel like doing good for other people always puts me in like a better mood, and hopefully I can find like a book in there that will inspire me to really get back into reading. I have been reading a book that has been like keeping my interest more than anything else, and maybe I'll do a video of like how I'm staying out of a book slump because I've never been in one, but I can feel it coming and I'm just like trying so hard to like not like get into one. So whenever I get in the car, I'll show you guys the book that I'm reading that's like keeping me out of the book slump. But let's head to the bookstore and see what we can find.
Trees are dancing while the spring's still here. They don't make haste cause they know what's coming. We're trying to wash away our broken years, but it's so hard in the cold summer.
It is time for the book haul. I got 2 huge bags, and did I need to get these? No, I definitely did not, but I feel like anytime I'm just like not feeling in the best mood, it makes me in a better mood when I make other people in a better mood. Like, so many of you guys said that you have watched these videos when you're in a very dark place and it just like gives you so much peace, and that's what I want to give to other people like all the time, and well, maybe not all the time, but like as much as I can. So I did end up getting some books for myself, which I'm going to show you guys those books after I put these into the book library. I'm going to take out the ones that I got for myself. I got 2 for myself, and then I ended up getting the rest for the book libraries. I got a good amount of books, and did I need to get them? Again, no, but I do really like getting really diverse books. So I'm going to show you the books that I got for the book libraries, but then I'm also going to show you the books that I'm reading that have kept me out of a book slump whenever I get back from putting these in the book libraries, and then I will show you the books that I got for myself. So these are all the books that I got for the little book libraries. I do recognize that this is definitely a privilege to be able to do this, but I know I kind of just look at this as my way of giving back to the community. I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, and you will definitely recognize some of these for sure. The first book I got is Love Radio. If you guys missed the other video that I did where I filled up little book libraries, go back and watch that video. feel like I picked a lot of the same books from that, but I wanted to make sure to get diverse reads. I'm going to go to 2 or 3 little book libraries today. I got Love Radio by Ebony Liddell. I loved this story. It's so sweet. This is a YA romance, which is really like, I don't know, I feel like YA romances are really just like special because they give so much nostalgia, and there's actually a date in this book where he takes her like on a bookstore date, but I think he ends up like renting out the whole bookstore, or like the bookstore owner lets him like rent it out. And he ends up like putting a dinner table and stuff in there, and it is so freaking sweet. I'm like, every man needs to do this. It's just like the sweetest little date. So I got this. There definitely are some hard topics in this one, so I feel like this one is like older YA. I would definitely like read it now. It's very, very good. And then I picked up The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. I've mentioned how I love Christina Forrest's writing. I feel like her writing is just like really easy to read, and normally she writes YA, but this was like her first adult romance, which I really enjoyed. I got all of these from The Literary, which is a small bookstore. I want to shop with independent bookstores whenever I do this. I'm going to try to do this like once a month. We'll see. I mean, it definitely was expensive. I think I spent each of these books was like $20 pretty much, because when you're buying books that aren't like from Barnes or Amazon, they are going to be a little bit more expensive. But I feel like when I'm doing that, not only am I supporting the community, but I'm also like supporting the bookstore. Granted, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this because my pocketbook, you know, definitely feels it, but I'm hoping that these books will inspire someone's love of reading. So I got The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. This is a sweet love story about a publisher and a writer, so it's very like book-esque, and I've read both of those books. Then I got Checkmate by Allie Hazelwood. I have not read this book. It just came out, but I actually ordered this book on bookshop.org. And if you guys are wanting to support like independent businesses, but you don't have like a or independent bookstores, but you don't have, excuse me guys, I'm so tired. I stayed up so late last night, I just like couldn't sleep. I did end up reading the book that I was saying is keeping me out of the book slump, so I will like let you guys know what that is. I was literally reading at 2 a.m. this morning, which never happens, but I got Checkmate by Allie Hazelwood from bookshop.org, which is a way to support independent bookstores. So if you're wanting to like support independent bookstores, maybe you don't have one in your town, or maybe there is like a black-owned bookstore that you love, but you don't have one in your city or town or whatever, you can go on there and click the book that you want to order, and then click like the bookstore that you want to support, and then 100% of the proceeds like goes to that bookstore, which I love. So a lot of the time I'll support a bookstore that's like 40 minutes from me because they have new books and I really like love their bookstore, but like sometimes I just genuinely can't drive 40 minutes to get to a bookstore. And other times I will support Semicolon Books, which is in Chicago, and it's a black-owned bookstore because I love supporting black-owned businesses. The other bookstore that's like 40 minutes from me is called Our Town Books, and it's a women-owned business. There aren't really any bookstores in my town except we have one used bookstore, but a lot of the books in that bookstore are obviously used, so they don't have like newer copies like this. So that's just another way to support like small businesses. I also got Honey and Spice by Boli Babalola. Loved this book so freaking much. Like, it is so good. This is a college romance, and I feel like things that are set in college also give me nostalgia. Oh my gosh, I need to go to sleep. I cannot stay up reading again tonight. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Like, you're probably yawning at work or yawning with me because you stayed up reading last night. But this book is really sweet because I feel like it gives the nostalgia from college because it's set in college. And it's like kind of an enemies to lovers type situation. I read this like 2 years ago and I really enjoyed it. I also got Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and I wanted to get a lot of like popular BookTok books, or books that are on BookTok, because I feel like if you aren't a huge reader, maybe you've seen the covers of these books, so they'll like get you invested in reading it versus just like random covers you've never heard of. I feel like a lot of people who shop from free little libraries might not have the ability to get like a brand new book. Like, they might have to wait until it's like older. So I want like people who are getting books from free little libraries to like also have the ability to like get the new books and be like part of the fun conversation that we're all having. And I feel like Abby Jimenez's writing, I literally eat it up. I rated this book 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I think a large part of it was because I finished it in like 24 hours. And the last book that I got is my favorite romance that I would recommend to anyone if I could only recommend one romance, and it is 11 Other Words by Christina Lauren. this author duo just did the absolute best work with this book. I have never found a book like it. Somehow they pulled nostalgia from when you're younger, also nostalgia from when you're older and you first fall in love, and like when you fall out of love and when you fall back in love. And I love this book. I feel like I always recommend this to people who are wanting like a really sweet, cozy romance. I think this is also a great book for fall. On the front, there's like a little cabin, there's books, there's coffee, there's little trees down here. It just gives like fall to me. It's very cozy, and it's a friends to lovers story. Super easy to read. You can finish this in like a day. So I ended up getting all of these books, and I hope that someone really enjoys them. I think I'm going to split it up where I do a few in, maybe 2 in one little library, and then 2 in another, and then 2 in another, because there are 6. So let's head out and just fill up these libraries.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you've got style, the way your body keeps my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you, can't you see? I want you, I believe, 'cause I want you here with me. I'm gonna go crazy, I'm gonna go crazy for love. I look at you and know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you've got style, the way your body keeps my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you, can't you see? I want you, I believe, 'cause I want you.
Now that I've dropped off books at 3 little libraries, I'm actually back at the first one that I went to, because I have such a like bleeding heart for book like free little book libraries that are near schools, and I didn't realize that this one was near the school, and I dropped 2 books into it because I was going to do 2 books in each one. But then I literally forgot that I just recently did an unhaul video. You guys can go back and watch that. I'll link it below, where I got a ton of books that I plan on unhauling, and they're in the back of my car. So I dropped off some of those books in the other book libraries, but I saved a lot of them for this book library, which this book library is specifically for diverse books. So I'm going to put Love and Other Words in it, because if you guys didn't know, the main character Macy is actually a woman of color. I also have Take Care. Again, you guys can look through all of these books from my unhaul if you guys want to like check it out. But I had multiple copies of some because I actually planned on giving some books to friends, like Fast by Millie Belazar, one of my favorite books, rated at 4.5 out of 5 stars. But I actually didn't end up seeing my friend Alex until like later than I thought, so I ended up just buying the books and having them mailed to her house. One of my favorite memoirs, I'm Still Here by Austin Channing Brown. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, because I had multiple copies of this. Real by Candy Ryan, because I also have multiple copies of this. Never Never by Colleen Hoover, just because I don't think that I'm going to end up reading it. And I'm going to put this into this bag. I already put 2 books in there by Abby Jimenez, and by I think I put Love Radio by Ebony Liddell in there. So I think that that's a good amount, but there were literally no books in there. It made me so sad. And as I was driving away, there's a school right back there, and kids literally walk straight down this like walkway past the book library. And they walk past, and I'm assuming get books, which is why it's probably empty. So I am feeling very like inspired to fill up this book library. So there's going to be a ton more books in there after this. Oh, also Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. We're also going to put this in there because this is a double copy I got for one of my friends. But I ended up just mailing her books instead of like giving her the copies that I bought. I know buying books is expensive, but I kind of think of it as like my way of just like, again, giving back to the community. I know some people will give back by like going and working at food banks or by like donating blood and doing lots of different things, which I also try to do as well. But I think we all have to contribute in different ways. And I feel like book libraries is something that I'm like really passionate about, because reading is something that can take you out of your element when you're going through something hard. And I feel like so many kids, adults, teenagers, whatever, need an escape, and I think books are a great one. So we're going to put this into the bag and we are going to take this over to the book library, and I will show you guys later what I'm reading that is keeping me out of a book slump.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
I'm back in the car and I want to show you guys the new books that I picked up for myself, and then I also want to show you guys the book that has been keeping me from getting in a book slump. There is literally one book. So I have been reading Restore Me by J.L. Seegers on my Kindle. Guys, I was like so close to DNFing this book, and I've never DNF'd a book. There's so much spice in it. Like, the storyline is good, but like there's just the spice is literally every other page, and like it is like true erotica. So that is not normally my vibe, and it just has been like a little much to read. So I am going to listen to it on audiobook and see if I like it better. I only have like 140 pages left. I'm like 70 something percent through. I just cannot get myself to get through it. I also put The Inmate by Freida McFadden on my Kindle as well, because it has been so good and I cannot put it down, and that is the book that has kept me out of getting in a book slump. And I've been like actually tandem reading on my Kindle and in a physical book. So like last night when I was twisting my hair, I was reading from my Kindle, and then also last night I was reading from my Kindle when I didn't have enough light in our living room, because we keep it kind of cozy. We keep like dark lighting where it has like the warm yellow lights, and Brady was watching football, and while he was doing that I was reading. So I was reading from my Kindle, but then when I went to the bedroom, I still needed to read with some kind of light, because the light was off, because like Brady obviously went to bed, and it, like I was reading until 2 a.m. And while I was reading, I used my little reading light. I have a small reading light, because I was just craving reading a physical book, and I've just been going back and forth between the two, and I'm on page 180, and I'll probably end up finishing this today. Yesterday I was reading Restore Me some. I also was reading this, and I kept being like, I just want to get done with Restore Me, and I don't know what it is about me and DNFing books. I never DNF books. I think because I'm such a good judge of like picking the right books, but also I worry that like, what if the book gets better? And there've been books where like literally the last chapter, I can literally think of one book in particular, The Last Word. I enjoyed the book, but I was very scared. Like, it was a very, very scary thriller. It was a little too scary for me. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. So as I was reading it, I was like, I don't know if this book's for me. Like, I'm a little nervous. And then the ending is what made the book a 4-star. And it wasn't even the ending, but it was like the culmination of like the whole book plus the ending. But I remember thinking like, I think I'm gonna rate this 3 stars, which isn't bad, but like, I just like, I don't know if it's like for me. Right now, Restore Me is, I think, like a 2-star. But it could come up from here. Like, I don't know. Maybe like the spice tones down at the end. I don't know. Anyway, this has been what's keeping me out of a book slump. And usually what gets me into like feeling like I'm gonna have a book slump is if I read multiple books at a time and all of the books are just like not my favorite. So this has been literally keeping me on the edge of my seat. Her books are so freaking good. I've read Never Lie in the Housemaid by her, and I literally have like almost her whole backlist. The 2 books that I ended up getting, one of them is not in my like regular genre of what I read. And I picked up Britney Spears' The Woman in Me. This looks like such a good book. I don't really know much about the whole like Britney Spears life and stuff, but I felt like this would be a really good one because I don't know very much about her life, and the book itself reads like it's just like a work of fiction and not like a true like memoir, which can sometimes I think be a little boring. And then the other book that I got is Kissing Kosher, and this says step 1, get the secret recipe. Step 2, don't fall in love. A Vital Cohen isn't wearing underpants woefully for unsexy reasons. Chronic pelvic pain has forced her to sideline her photography dreams and her love life. It's all she can do to manage her family's kosher bakery. Best babka in Brooklyn without collapsing. She needs hired help, and distractingly handsome Ethan Lippman seems the perfect fit. Like the cover of this just looks super cute and is what drew me to it. Except Ethan isn't there to work. He's undercover at the behest of his iron-fisted grandfather. Though Lippman's a household name when it comes to a mass-produced kosher baked goods, they don't have the charm of a Vital's bakery or her grandfather's world-famous pumpkin spice recipe. As they bake side by side, Ethan soon finds himself more interested in a Vital than... A Vital, is that her name? Than in stealing family secrets, especially as he helps her find the chronic pain relief and pleasure she's been missing. But perfecting the recipe for romance calls for leaving out the lies, even if coming clean means risking everything. And I just thought this would be really cute. I love a story like this that's like surrounding something else, but there's like romance in it, and obviously this is like surrounding baking. But I also like reading diverse reads, and I feel like there aren't a ton of books about like chronic pain or people who have chronic pain. So I got these 2 books for myself. I've really been loving them, and I have been reading Frida McFadden's book. Thank you guys also for all of your sweet messages. They do not go unnoticed. I feel so grateful for a community like this that is just so loving, and with the loss of my dad this week, it has been so hard, but I think coming to this community is like a breath of fresh air. Like there isn't, I don't know, there's just love here, and I can feel it, and I just appreciate you guys for making this community that way, because it wouldn't be that way without you. So I'm hoping that these videos will continue to provide like a light, like happy, joyful space in like a dark time if you're going through one. And it's definitely doing that for me, because books I feel like have always been that way for me, like have really put me in a good mood when I'm not feeling in a good mood. But the community here is what's like making that even 10 times better. So thank you guys so much for all of your sweet messages in the like last few videos. The next video that we have coming up is a fun one. Make sure you're subscribed, because there's new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So you get lots of videos, and then we're gonna have Bookmas again in literally my brain just blanked, December. The next video I think you guys are gonna see are books to make you love reading, or it's gonna be me reading fantasy books. So make sure you're subscribed and come back for the next one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.